This was another idea we stole from another teacher. So especially in first grade, you want to give your kids ownership of their writing. I always tell my kids, you guys are authors, so like this is your story. In the same way, you want them to take ownership of their learning. So a teacher that came to one of our workshops, she used a binder ring and index cards for each of her kids, and they had their name on the front. Then as she was going around, if John needed help with spacing, she'd write spacing. Well, our babies can't read, a lot of them. So writing spacing isn't going to do much for my little friend that can't read the word spacing. So in the units, I made anchor charts for a lot of the lessons that you can use in your classroom. Then what I did with those anchor charts is from like a big anchor chart, I like screen printed them, put them all into little ones, so there's like 6 on a page. So then you can print those off, cut them out, and store them. You know those things that, it's like not a Tupperware thing, but it opens, it has those little boxes, like where you might keep your reward coupons. Keep those in there. So if you have a friend that needs help with remembering to add clothes to their characters, and that's a mini lesson you taught, and you have that anchor chart, you can just grab one of those little mini anchor charts and be like, hey, let's glue this into your thing, and remember we want to add clothes to our characters. If you need a friend that needs help with the process, you know, thinking, because we write first in first grade and then we draw after, writing, drawing, then that's shrunk up to like really mini, and you can be like, okay, remember we think first, we write, and then we draw, and our picture has to match our words. You can glue that into their little binder, their little index card, so then they can see, oh yeah, I need to work on adding clothes to my person. I thought that was a really, really rich way to give kids ownership of their learning and keep track of your conferencing, what you're working on with them. So on the Broken Arrow website, those are, all the anchor charts are on there, but then also the ones that are cut into really mini ones, so if you wanted to implement that in your classroom.
And all of these will, as you introduce them, you will hang them on your wall, and the color looks way better. So you can also point to it on the wall and say, remember when we talked about what to do? And then you can point to the small one and say, remember, that's when we do this.
We've said it a million times, but make Writer's Workshop work for you. You know what your kids need. You're the expert, so you want to do it in your best way. If I tried to teach Writer's Workshop the way someone else does, it's not going to be my best. I'm very like this, so that's just not how I teach. So that won't work for me. So you want it to work for you. You want your kids to feel your excitement and get excited. We want our kids to learn the standards that they need to know for the next grade level. But ultimately, as an early childhood teacher, we want our kids to love learning. That is our job. We need to get them excited about learning and get them to where, that love of learning is going to take them their whole life. So if nothing else, letting your kids write every day and getting them excited about writing, that is so powerful. They may not master how to write a perfect sentence, but that modeling and that excitement, they're going to know what a perfect sentence looks like, and someday they may be able to do a perfect sentence. So just make it work for you, and just keep writing. Just keep writing. I never skip Writer's Workshop in my classroom. It's my favorite time of the day, so we do it every single day, even if I have to work my schedule around a little bit to make it happen.